Hey guys, welcome to the channel. We've got Claire here with us tonight.
Yay!
Or this
Glad
afternoon.
to be back.
Or this morning, wherever you're tuning in from.
Yes.
We have a lot we want to cover tonight. We've got all kinds of exciting stuff happening, guys. I really some stuff we can talk about and we will, and some stuff we can't talk about just yet, but there is exciting stuff happening for sure. Should we start with? I guess we could talk about, we have a bunch of people have been sending us stuff, and I'm not sure if they're emailing Claire and getting our address or they're finding us and sending it. I'm not sure the mechanics of how this is happening, but
I've given a few people our address. It's nothing nefarious.
Yes. Okay. First, we got this really cool mug. I got one of these. I think Mike and Aaron both got these as well. And then, did you get a mug too, Claire?
Yes. Look, hold on. There we go.
Oh, look at this. Look at that. Yeah. And then,
yep. That was from Amy Scobie. Got that for me. I was very grateful.
I know. Amazing. I'm not mentioning some of the people who sent us stuff because they didn't say specifically we could mention them. But I know that John Satowski asked on one of the lives if I got the Mr. Bill, and we got that. This is a dog chew toy.
John has been a busy man. He sent me a box of chocolates since we had that whole discussion about American versus English chocolate. And he sent you that giant box of crackers.
Yeah. And then we got a Gumby as another squeak toy. And then we got this random, I don't know what this is all about, but I got one of these little chew toys.
Oh, look at that.
And then we even got a little Pokey for Gumby and Pokey because I'm a big Pokey fan. I'm not really a big Pokey fan. I like to call people Pokey when they're small, especially my kids when they're slow. If they're moving slow, I'd be like, come on, Pokey, let's go. Let's get it up, speed it up. And then and getting all that merch, we have an announcement. We have an announcement tonight, which is we have the BFG official BFG store is now open. If you go to the link in the description, there's a BFG store. You can get hoodies, t-shirts, stickers. There's a beanies, mouse pads. There's a bunch of stuff in there for now, but we'll take requests. If you've got requests, put in the comments below. If you want something else that we don't have in there, just ask us. We'll put it in there. And also, the BFG book is also for sale in there. And the signed copies are in there. So you can get it all from one place now. You can still get them from the signed copies of the paperback or the hardback from the BFG, blownforgood.com. But you can now get it in the BFG store as well. And then you can also do straight donations in the BFG store. So if you don't want to do it through PayPal or some other way, you can just go right to the BFG store. You can do it right from there. That makes it real simple because people have been asking us more and more lately. I don't know what happened. I think because Aaron started doing it on his channel. Mike could do it on his website. So people have just been asking us for a donation link. So we put that down in the description below, BFG store. You can click on that and you can, if you want some specialized BFG merch, you can get it there. We're coming soon with more stuff. A ton of people send us files and logos and SPTV things. They have to be super high res for us to be able to print them on t-shirts or mugs or something like that. And almost all of the stuff we were sent was really low res. So we're working on up-resing a lot of those things. And once we have some high res logos, then we can add some more things.
And speaking of Aaron, by the way, he's in the house.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize we've got.
He said, "Could Mark send me some crackers for my French dip sandwich? I like my crackers pre-licked."
You know, he might have gone down a slippery slope on this French dip. So it's sort of been decided that the people that watch this channel are the cracker lickers or the Claire Bears, and I hate to say it, but I think Aaron's got the double dippers right now. That's what they're calling themselves.
I saw that the other day. That's hilarious.
The double dippers, because he is a double dipper. Like he's one of those people who gets some salsa, takes a bite off the chip, and then goes for another round. He didn't even realize he was a double dipper, and then he said he was. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm totally a double dipper." And then this
That's
French
fun.
dip sandwich thing got out of control too. So anyway, I don't know. I said they should be called the AA team. I thought that was
Oh
funny
yeah, that's a
myself.
good one too. I like
Instead of
that.
the A team, it's the AA team. But it's all good. Whatever. Double dippers, the French dippers, the whatever, the AA team, whatever sticks is usually the one they get. And we all have, I think it was Andrew Gold to blame for this. I didn't even know there was such a thing. I know I watch Your Mom's House, and everybody who watches that are called mommies, the mommies.
Oh,
But
okay.
I don't know. I didn't know that was a thing for every channel. And then Andrew Gold was like, oh yeah, you gotta have your people have to name it. And I was like, oh, I don't think that's a good name. And Andrew was like, no, you don't get to pick it. They pick it. It's kind of whatever sticks and they want, that's what they are. And I was like, oh boy, okay. So yeah, so we got the cracker liquor somehow. You know, it is what it is.
and the Claire Bears. Somebody sent me the other day this amazing artwork of you and me, just you and me, and it said Marcus a Spark, and it said Claire Bear, and my email's wigging out, and for the life of me, I can't find it. I'm so upset that I can't find it to show you. It's really cool.
Did you see the little rainbow Claire Bears artwork that was sent?
That's the one I'm talking about. I can't find it anywhere.
Oh, I have it. I know where it is. I saved it.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. I've been looking for it for hours now.
Mike requested no nicknames in his live.
No nicknames.
What a newbie. You don't get to make requests. They are what they are.
It's a spontaneous combustion.
Somebody said in the comments, Mike's people can be the Rinder Rangers.
Oh, nice.
I don't think he gets to decide.
Or I saw somebody else say that they were going to call themselves the bobbleheads.
Oh, that's a good one. The bobbleheads. Yeah. I don't know. It's like whatever Mike decides, they have to decide if that's going to be the right one. I'm going to turn my headphones up a little bit because I think I'm talking too loud. I can't. I don't know. It sounds the same. Okay. Awesome. So yeah, we got a bunch of cool stuff.
Fine.
Oh, you're great. Everything's good. My audio sounds fine too. Okay. But I just thought I wasn't as loud as I could be in the headphones. It makes me talk a little odd when I can't hear myself. Yeah. So today, I guess we'll do a Q&A. Yeah, we can do a Q&A at the end of this video. So if you guys have got questions or whatever, as usual, we try to do some non-super chats and and as many super chats as we can get to. But yeah, if you guys want to put anything in there, feel free. Right now we're up. Oh, wow. We almost got 1,000 people in here. We're at 890. Oh yeah. Let me see what the subscriber count is. We are at 29,688. So in about 311 subscribers will break the 30,000. And you guys know how we do it. Whenever we tick over 1,000, we start giving stuff away. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you can hit subscribe. Also, when you subscribe, we send out notifications when we're going to do these videos. And I try to do them well in advance of the video. Like I sent the notification out for this video, like I created the video yesterday. So if you didn't get your notification, then it's probably because you're not subscribed. I think the people that did subscribe definitely got their notification. And supposedly this is a new thing. I think most of the people that when you like a video, when you're in the video, it'll put it on the recommended page and push out more notifications to other people so that they can tune in while we're live. So if you haven't done that, do that. And that helps the channel out. That helps us get in front of more people and get the word out about the craziness of Scientology.
Yes, exactly. And I love how SPTV Network has been growing and growing and growing like crazy.
Yeah, I want to say I haven't done an official count, but I think we're up to about 20 channels on loosely affiliated with SPTV. Whether they officially call themselves SPTV or they're just doing, it's a YouTube channel about Scientology. There is about 20 channels that are out there right now. And there's more firing up each month. So it's really good. We are definitely getting we are slaying it in comparison to Scientology's YouTube channel, just in terms of videos being watched and the just the sure amount of videos and content that's being viewed on the internet. We're doing really good. So that's great.
Yep. It's amazing.
Okay.
Every voice counts. Every voice has an impact. Nobody's story doesn't matter. Everything matters.
Yeah. And the great thing is we have guys, we got gals, we got people in UK, we got people in the United States, we got people on the East Coast, we got people on the West Coast. We got there's all different time zones and all different regions. And yeah, we're really covering. And the great thing is that all of the people that are starting these channels, they know a bunch of people that they're in touch with that have left Scientology or that are under the radar. So we're all getting information from within Scientology from all different levels and echelons and areas, and that helps tell the stories of these people in these different places. So it's pretty amazing. The video that we wanted to do today was about our lawsuit. Claire and I filed a lawsuit against Scientology. And when did we file it exactly? What was the date? I remember it had
January. Yeah, it was January 2009 because it was right before our anniversary of having escaped, because our statute of limitations would be up.
Yeah.
4 years was the statute of limitations for the causes of action that we had in the lawsuit.
Yeah. And this is a key thing about Scientology is when you leave Scientology, it takes you a while to get your life together and, get your feet on the ground and get a place to live and a job and a car and credit card or a house loan or whatever it is. And Scientology are counting on the fact that it's going to take you several years to get your shit together. And also, it's going to take several years for the mind fog and the brainwashing and everything else to kind of wear off. And most of the statute, is it the statute? The statute of limitations.
Statute. Yeah.
Yeah. The statute of limitations for most of the things that they're going to be guilty of. If you were at the ant base, I'm not sure about what goes on at the other echelons of Scientology or the other bases, but at the int base, there was a lot of beatings, a lot of physical violence, false imprisonment, intentional infliction of emotional distress. All these sort of things are happening at the int base. And because of that, the statute for most of the things, I think it's about 4 years or less. And if you're going to file a lawsuit, you have to file the lawsuit within a certain amount of time. And if you wait, then the first, basically requirement of the lawsuit is, did this thing that you said happen within this amount of time? And if it didn't, that's it. The lawsuit gets thrown out. Now, Scientology either had not had this arbitration thing in place, or they didn't use it, or we didn't sign the documents that they needed in order to do that. But they didn't pull that on us. And our lawsuit went for several years. And that, I don't think that arbitration thing ever came up. Or if it did, it didn't hold up and it just went away. And
no, it did not come up.
Okay, good.
This was before they started that strategy.
Okay. So,
and again, it's proof that arbitration is something they've created to try and shut down these lawsuits, because it's not like it already existed then. There was no mention of, the Headleys need to go into arbitration. It just wasn't a thing at that time.
Totally. Yeah. I didn't remember that at all. I was like, I don't think they did that in our case. So how the lawsuit started, I didn't even necessarily intend to sue them. We knew that they were spying on us. We knew they were harassing. They had hate websites and they were doing all this stuff to discredit us and try to, what they call black PR us, which is to spread false propaganda about us. And I had met up with a guy that was in Scientology, and he was thinking of leaving. and his name was Jason Begay. And Jason Begay, he was an actor. He'd been in a bunch of movies, tons of TV shows, and he had been in Scientology for many years. And I knew him because we would shoot internal training films at the international headquarters of Scientology, and we used him for a lot of ads and videos and films. He was probably in at least 5 or 6 different films, and in a few of those, he was a main character, if not the star of the film, sort of thing. And so I knew Jason pretty well, and he was a bit of a troublemaker, even when he was coming to the set and being an actor. We weren't, in a lot of cases, we didn't pay these actors. They just showed up because they were a Scientologist, and they would just donate their time. Jason did not donate his time, and he played by the rules that the union actors played. Like, if I come at this time, I'm breaking at this time. If I'm starting this part of the day, I'm leaving at this part of the day. And I didn't want to get into a bunch of Jason stories, but I will tell this one just to see what kind of you could tell what kind of relationship Jason and I had. We would always go over the schedule, and we would shoot late on almost every single time we shot with an actor from Los Angeles or that had to drive there. We would go over, like, we're supposed to be done by 5:00. We'd go till 7:00, or we go to 8:00. And it was always a giant pain in the ass. And then that person ends up driving home back to LA, which is probably about a 2 to 3 hour drive, depending on traffic and where you live in LA. So if we break at 9:00, that person's going to get home probably at midnight or later. It's a giant pain in the butt. Anyway, so Jason was supposed to break at 5. We had to get 16 shots a day. That was an L. Ron Hubbard directive, that no matter what, the shoot crew had to shoot 16 shots a day. So we had shot like 14 shots. We need 2 more shots. And we probably needed 2 more shots to finish Jason. And if we didn't finish him, we'd have to do a whole nother shoot day, which meant we couldn't break down the sets that we had in there, and we'd have to leave the sets in, which means we couldn't shoot anything else. And it was a giant pain of things. So I said, Jason, listen, we're not going to finish by 5. We got at least 2 or 3 more shots we got to get with you. He goes, I'm leaving at 5. I said, Jason, come on, dude. We really just like an extra hour or an extra hour or 2. He's like, you always lie, Headley. You always do this. He goes, like, an extra hour, you're going to break at 5 to eat. That's an hour. Then you guys have muster. That's another 15 minutes. Then you know, all these things that are going to happen. Actually, dinner break was a half hour, but then with muster, it could be an hour. And then we have to get all back in there and we do our stuff. Anyway, he's like, if I stay, it's going to be till the end of the night, and I'm not doing it. I got to go. I'm leaving at 5. You have me till 5. I'm leaving at 5. I'm like, is there anything that I can do to make you stay? And he says, if you can win me at wrestling, then I will stay. And I'm like, what? I mean, this is in the mid 90s. I'm probably like $185. I'm in my 20s. I'm not weak, but I got some muscle. I'm no fat. You could see my ribs. I was skin and bones. I was definitely.
But you definitely were not working out.
Oh, anytime. I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't working out. But I'm thinking, he's got to be at least 15 years older, 10, 15 years older than me. I'm totally going to kick his ass. Like, I'm definitely doing this. So I say yes. So we go. It's right before dinner. And the shoot crew know that if I win, it's spread all around. Like in like 10 minutes, it's like, crew chief's going to wrestle Jason to make him stay. And then they're like, come on, go, crew chief, you can do it. Anyway, we go outside in this little grassy area right outside the studio. And I'm just like going like this. And Jason grabs on my shoulders. And I'm like, what are we doing? He goes, you don't even know how to wrestle? I was like, no, I don't ever wrestled before. He goes, yeah, we got to start like this. We both start like this. I was like, oh, okay, fine. Anyway, we start like somebody's like 3, 2, 1. We start. I want to say, I don't know, half a second, Jason has me on the ground and wrapped up like a pretzel. And I'm like,
you were tapping out before you could even blink.
Oh no, I think he almost literally ripped my arm out of the socket. Like, and I was screaming like, ah. Anyway, so and he literally had his bag sitting right there on the grass. He wrestled me, put me on the ground. I start screaming. He gets up, picks up his bag, puts it in his car, and drives away.
Oh my gosh.
It's just like no conversation, no nothing. Just see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. And yeah, I got in a lot of trouble for not finishing our 16 shots and then having to bring Jason back and pay him for a whole nother day. And but the best part is that the next time Jason came, I said, yeah, you're pretty good at that wrestling thing. He goes, yeah, I was a championship wrestler. I won the high school championship at my high school for wrestling. And I was like, oh man, I got scammed on that one. I was like, oh, you definitely suckered me into that one. Anyway,
oh boy.
So that's the relationship I had with Jason. So after we left Scientology, I met up with Jason. And then Jason he was like, I'm out. This is crazy. I'm not doing Scientology. It's a scam. And he shot a video with this guy named Mark Bunker. And he went on Wikipedia and he was trying to figure out how to get his Wikipedia site changed to say that he does not support Scientologists and he's not a Scientologist and he doesn't support it and everything else. And he didn't know how to do that. And he contacted this guy, Andreas Heldlund, and said, hey, if I want to change my Wikipedia page, what's the best way to do that? He goes, Andreas said, do a video on Scientology and say how you don't support it anymore and you don't you don't support it and you're not a member. And so he goes, okay. So there was a guy, Mark Bunker, who was shooting Scientology videos. He called up Mark Bunker, said, hey, do you want to shoot a video with me talking about Mark Bunker's like, yes, please. Thank you. And so he shot this video. Mark Bunker edited that video in my shop in Burbank. I had we built editing systems for the studios, and he edited that video at my shop where I had one of these editing systems set up. And that video was huge for getting out there about what Scientology was up to. Anyway, shortly thereafter, Jason was thinking about maybe he should do a lawsuit against Scientology. And he was going to meet with this lawyer, and he asked me to come. And I sat there with him, and while he was talking to this lawyer, and the lawyer basically was like, yeah, I'm not sure you really have a case at all. And I don't think this is a thing. And we were like, okay. And I'm like, okay, cool. We should get out of here. And the lawyer's like, whoa. You totally have a case. He was talking to me. And I was like, what? That's the last thing I want to do is do a lawsuit against Scientology, because they're crazy when you get into litigation, and they're notorious for just being able to go for years and years and years, and they have unlimited budget and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, somehow this lawyer, his name is Barry Van Sickle, he convinces me that we should do this. And then I talked to Claire, and we decided, yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do a lawsuit. And the thing that we wanted to do in the lawsuit was basically focusing on the abuse, the assaults, the forced termination of pregnancies, and human trafficking, like keeping people there against their will, which I think they call it's basically the cause of action is false imprisonment. And so that's what we sued him for. And it was a huge deal at the time that we had filed a lawsuit against them. And because no one had really done that, especially not former members of the INT base. I think there hadn't been a lawsuit like that since Vicky and Rick Asneran had sued them. They were in RTC and they were declared or kicked out. I'm not exactly sure how they left, but I'm pretty sure David Miscavige what do you call it when you banished them from RTC or declared them, whatever it is. And so we sued them. Now,
but remember that originally it wasn't going to be you and me. It was going to be you with 3 other people, I think. Wasn't it 2 or 3 other people? And we had decided we would do that first, and then mine would be secondary to that.
Yeah. And what ended up happening was, I want to say it was us or me. 1, 2, 3. It was at least 3. Oh no, 4 other people. There was 4 other people that also, when we said, hey, we're going to do a lawsuit, they were like, well, I'm going to do a lawsuit. And it was, I think, a total of 5 of us all together. Well, Scientology worked wonders, and they undeclared 2 of those people. Like, they literally said, if you drop your lawsuit, we will undeclare you. So you've sued Scientology, which is an SP act, a high crime against Scientology. But if you drop the lawsuit, then everything's good. You can talk to your family and everything's wonderful. And so they were out. One of the guys, he had escaped on Thanksgiving. And so his lawsuit was filed 4 years later, right before Thanksgiving. But Thanksgiving 4 years later fell on a different day. So the lawsuit was filed like a day late because everybody was like, it's got to be filed before Thanksgiving. It's got to be filed before Thanksgiving. But they didn't look at the dates. So it was like a technicality that it got filed 1 day late. And so that one was tossed out. And so the only ones that survived that was mine, which then Claire became part of, and then another one by a girl named Laura. And those were the only 2 that sort of stuck. And no matter what Scientology did, they couldn't get it dismissed or they couldn't get it killed. And we did depositions. We did hours and hours of depositions. And the depositions
over like a 2-year period too, or like at least a year and a half. Like, it was going on and on and on.
Yeah. And also Scientology used it as an excuse to depose a whole bunch of other ex-members. So like Amy Scobie, and I can't remember all the different people, but I definitely remember Amy Scobie. My dad was deposed, and he wasn't involved with Scientology.
Jackson was deposed too.
Jackson was deposed. The police that helped me escape were deposed. The sergeant that was over them was deposed. Or interviewed. So there was a whole bunch of people that were part of this lawsuit. And also during that time, we were able to get the police report from when the police helped me escape. I didn't even realize that there would be a police report because I didn't file a police report. So I didn't even know that there would be one. But because somebody had called 911 when they saw Scientology drive me off the road when I was on my motorcycle, and they were in a Scientology SUV, but from the Scientology property, when they ran me off the road, somebody saw that and called 911 and said, hey, these guys just ran this guy off the road and they're trying to beat him up. And so that's how the police showed up. It was because of that 911 call. So there was a report. We got that. Okay. Now, separate to all of this, there was another investigation being done by one of the alphabet agencies of the United States government. And that was specifically for human trafficking. Okay, so that's happening at the same time. Okay, as the lawsuit progressed, the lawyer that we had, Barry Van Sickle, he wasn't like he wasn't one of these lawyers you see on TV, or he's got clients coming and going, and he's just like a $1 billion law firm. It was him. He didn't have an office. His office was in his house, and his wife was his paralegal who would draw up the legal documents. And I would pay for his gas money to drive down from Northern California to Burbank when we would meet. And Claire would go to the same building that she was at last week, and she would bring motions to file them with the court clerk. I mean, this was
how ironic that the last time I was at that building, I was going to a federal judge delivering papers. It was so bizarre.
Yeah.
And I think I even had a baby with me at the time.
Yeah. So this was a very shoestring operation, what we were doing here. Meanwhile, Scientology are ordering depositions and copies of transcripts and all this stuff, and they are charging thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Like I want to say a deposition, the way they were doing it, was $2,500 each time they did a deposition, because they were videoing it. But not only were they videoing it, but they were live streaming the video to David Miscavige. And he was on his BlackBerry or whatever it was at the time, texting the lawyers, telling them what to ask in the deposition. He was texting the OSA guys, and then the OSA lawyers. It was Warren McShane, I think Lynn Farney. Those were the guys that were in. It was Ken Moxon. These were the lawyers in there. So they were getting a text, and then they would tell the lawyer, they would pass a little Post-it note to the lawyer that was conducting the deposition of stop asking these questions, or ask him about this, or whatever it was. Anyway, so and that was, for the most part, it was just a giant pain in the ass. But we didn't realize this at the time, but what they were doing was they were racking up as much legal fees as they could. So it was like, well, whatever. And even when we asked the Barry about this, he said, when the lawsuit's over, that usually everybody just says, we don't care about the fees. We're just going to walk away, so that we don't want to stir up any more trouble. We're just going to both call it quits and go away. So I'm like, whatever. If they're going to charge up all these legal fees, then they're going to charge up all these legal fees. Who cares? Anyway.
Or so we thought.
Yes.
Yeah. And let's not forget to talk about the cameraman filming the deposition.
Well, yeah, but this is also a key point that kind of is a callback to the spy files. If you haven't watched our spy file videos, guys, take a look at that. There's a whole bunch. I think we're up to like is it 14? I don't know. There's maybe 10 of them. Maybe there's 5 of them. I don't know. There's a bunch of videos we did on spy files, but in the lawsuit was the first. I knew we had spies in our lives, but I didn't know who they were until in one of the depositions, they push forward this statement from somebody, and they said, can you read that? And I read it, and I'm like, this is a lot of like current stuff about what I'm up to, what I'm doing. And it was from Eric Geisler. He had done a statement for them, for them against us for the lawsuit. And that's when I found out, oh, he's one of the spies. And then years later, I would actually get a copy of the spy files, my dossier from Scientology. And then we would find out that, oh, he had been a spy all the way back to 2006 forward. So anyway, we found that out in the lawsuit. The other thing was they had a copy of every single thing I'd ever posted on the internet. For those of you who don't know, in 2005, 2006, I started posting things on the internet about Scientology. A lot of the things that we talk about today, I was posting them either as they were happened or they had just happened. And I was doing it under a pseudonym called Blown for Good, meaning if you escape, that's called a blow. Once you've escaped, you're considered blown. And Scientology, in almost all cases, at least at the end base, if you escape or blow, they track you down like a dog and they bring you back. And I wanted to make sure they knew that I was blown for good. They were never going to get me back. So therefore, that's how I got the name. The other reason is I just really liked this BFG logo that these guys that made graphics cards. And I thought Blown for Good would match and I could use that logo. And that for a long time, I did use this company called BFG. I used their logo for my logo on my whatever posting on Operation Clambake or X Scientology message board or X Scientology kids or whatever forums I was posting on at the time. And Scientology had a copy of every single thread that I had ever posted in. They had bankers boxes and bankers boxes of all these things. And it was pretty crazy. And so they not only had been keeping track of my posts, they'd also had any copy of any video or film or TV show I'd ever done on Scientology. And they had spies that were living amongst me and hanging out with me and going to my birthday parties and drinking my beer and watching my UFC pay-per-views and all that happy hoo-ha. Okay, so then we're doing the lawsuit. We do that, and we switch lawyers. Barry can't do it anymore. Now it's getting so big that the lawsuit, Scientology are filing so many requests and motions, and Barry can't keep up with it. And there's a big law firm in LA, actually in Long Beach, called the Metzger law firm, and they want the case. So Barry makes a deal with them, and he's still going to be on the case, but they're going to do a lot of this heavy lifting that he doesn't have the resources or the capabilities to do. And then, so that goes on for a while. And then at some point they push Barry out. They say, Barry, you got to walk away. You're messing up the case. And they push him out. When that happens, they also decide we're going to change the causes of action, because this Alphabet government agency that's doing an investigation into human trafficking is it's happening, that they're going to get them. So they say, we're going to put all our eggs in the human trafficking basket. Now, there was still one other case that started with ours that was still going. And they said, we're going to leave that one with those causes of action, and we're going to change your case to this cause of action. And so we're like, okay, we don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys are the lawyers.
We were born in a cult.
Yeah,
we're born in lawyers.
I don't know about any of this. Like, I don't even know what a cause of action is. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so they do that. So that is a key moment. Remember this part. Causes of actions. Take all these out. Put human trafficking. Ooh, killed my glasses there. Take put in human trafficking. Take all this other stuff out. This other case, leave all that in. Okay. So fast forward. We move. We're living in California this whole time, in Burbank, California. We're literally 15 minutes from a whole slew of Scientology properties in Los Angeles, including OSA. So we'd have OSA guys not even have to hire PIs. They'd just come to our house and see what we were up to, because we were so just over the hill, just Hollywood, right over the Hollywood 101. Boop, you're at the Headley house. So we had, I'm going to say, for at least 5 solid years, we would have PIs following us all the time.
Yeah, we'd have process servers show up at the door. There'd be PIs parked on the street. Remember, you got in the habit of just going down to them like, hey guys, you want some Gatorade? I know you're here.
I'd give them chips and Gatorade. Be like, I seen you guys out here the whole day. I mean, you want a Gatorade? And here's some chips, like out of one of these, like, you give your kids for their lunches, like a snack pack. I bring them a little snack pack of Doritos and a little baby Gatorade. Like, hey, I know it's something, but, and then they would follow me to my clients. They would harassing clients. It was a whole bunch of nonsense, but that went on for about 5 years. So it was at a point where it's like, this is getting old. And also California wasn't getting any better. All kinds of business wise. It wasn't a great state to do business in for a small business. So we moved to Colorado. Lawsuit's still going.
Our oldest was about to start school.
Yes.
And the school district was having all kinds of issues.
Yeah. That was not a good scene there. Anyway, so we moved to Colorado. Lawsuit's still going. And we set up our whole we basically set up whatever operations we had in California. We started setting all that back up in Colorado. My company, getting a warehouse, all the things that I had in Los Angeles, we started doing that in Colorado. And then we lose our case. And they say, you're done, you're out. And the Metzgers are like, oh, we're going to appeal it. Don't worry, we're going to appeal it. We'll get it on appeal. The blah, blah, blah circuit will we'll see this the way it is, and blah blah blah. Okay.
And don't forget that at this point, when we decided to file the appeal, the earlier equivalent of Stand League now was having a heyday on the internet.
Well, not yet, because they did that once the appeal got denied.
No, they were saying you were going to be, that Blown for Good is going to be broke for good.
Oh,
even back then. And that was the first inkling that we had. What we were like, well, wait a minute, what are they talking about?
Yeah, and that was if we lose the appeal.
Right.
So the appeal goes through its process, and we lose that. And in the appeal, we find out something big. And I'm going to pull that. I'll pull that document. This is the one I have, right? The quote. It says, this is in the final portion of the appeal, the denied appeal.
Yeah.
It says,
finally, this was it. This was the last ruling in our case.
Yeah. And this is key. And Scientology doesn't talk about this ever. Says, and although the Headleys marshaled evidence of potentially tortious conduct, they did not bring claims for assault, battery, false imprisonment, intentional infliction of emotional distress, or any of a number of other theories that might have better fit the evidence. The Headleys thus wagered on an all statute enacted to combat the transactional crime of trafficking in persons. And that was the thing that the FBI was investigating at the time.
Yeah.
So this is a key thing. If those lawyers had not had us change the causes of actions that fateful day in Long Beach, then none of this would have happened. And we probably wouldn't have it might not even have gone to appeal. Okay. So sorry, I'll put us back the way we were. Okay. No, so that happens.
And to note, this was when I started referencing this the other day in my testimony, it was struck from the record.
Yes. And signed.
I was very limited on the exact words I could say about the lawsuit, but nobody had told me that I couldn't say. In the final ruling, the judge said, had we pursued other causes of action such as false imprisonment, strike. Yeah. That's where it ended.
Let's not talk about any of that case.
I know, I'm not.
Awesome. Okay. So yes, all that happened. Okay. So we're just like, okay, fine. We lost. Bummer. We're going to go back to our lives. We tried. We proved that you can sue Scientology, and you can lose. But now this other case is still going forward. Nothing's happened with it. It's still moving. And Scientology are sweating a little bit more each day that this thing, they tried to deny this, and they try to extend this, and they started to argue about the statute of limitations and this shouldn't be allowed. But this case keeps going forward. Okay. Meanwhile, we don't really hear anything from the lawyers. They're just kind of like, don't worry about it. We'll get all the paperwork sorted out, and we'll deal with everything at this end, and then we'll send you whatever we need to send you when that's all final. Okay, then out of the blue, we get a letter. And this is the letter. This is from one of the main Scientology attorneys, and they are sending it to our lawyer, and then our lawyer sent us a copy. And it basically says, of course, the copy that I have here is big, but I have to pull up another one here so I can read this, guys. Okay. So this says, Dear Raphael Metzger was our lawyer. You have proposed a final resolution of this matter. As part of this resolution, you have requested that the Church of Scientology International, CSI, and Religious Technology Center, RTC, waive the costs which have already been awarded to them in the underlying matter, and any costs incurred in the Ninth Circuit appeal. CSI and RTC would consider this request subject to appropriate documentation if your clients would agree to the following. Okay. We didn't know about any of this. We didn't ask for them to negotiate But apparently it's just standard. Hey, you waive the costs, we'll waive our costs, and we all walk away and we're all good.
Yeah. And for context, the costs that we're talking about is $42,852.
Yeah. Okay. So $42,000, they want the $42,000. Or we can do what they want in this letter. And this is where it gets crazy.
Yep.
So it says CSI and RTC would consider this request subject to appropriate documentation if your clients would agree to the following. The Headleys agree to a full and permanent disengagement between themselves on one hand and CSI/RTC on the other hand. This would include no further anti-Scientology activity under any circumstances at any time, including media or internet postings disparaging Scientology or Scientologists. That's the first. We have to agree to that. So that means no more exposing Scientology. That's what they want. Okay, 2, the Headleys will in turn, the Headleys will turn over to CSI/RTC all rights to the Blown for Good book. So they want me to give them the rights to Blown for Good, which, by the way, they entered into evidence in the case as fact, and they had a signed copy. Thanks for hooking us up, guys, with some bucks for the signed copy you got. The Headleys agreed to discuss with, this is very key, guys. The Headleys agreed to discuss with CSI and RTC all of their contacts with Marty Rathbun and any others involved in disparaging CSI and RTC, including any media contacts. So basically, they want us to spy for them. Okay, so we gotta stop where we have no connection with CSI and RTC anymore. We give them my book and we spy for them. If we do those 3 things, then we don't have to pay the $42,000. Seems like a great deal.
Yeah. And our lawyers explained to us when we learned about this letter that normally in a case like ours, both parties make this deal and they just say, hey, let's shake hands. My client won't pursue any further lawsuits. We agree. Let's just call it even. And that's what our lawyers were attempting to do on our behalf without informing us. And this was the response from Scientology.
Yeah. And then another thing, which we'll just kind of rewind a little bit, is there's a way when you have a deposition or you have some sort of proceeding in the case, and at the end of the deposition, your lawyer says, I'd like to file this under flippy dippy ding dong and the 7th, this and that and the other thing. And then when they do that, it makes it so both copies can essentially get a free transcript of the meeting. Like they both agree, yeah, I'll do this. And then that way you can get a copy and we can get a copy and we don't have to pay anything. It's just like, $30 for the court reporter to print out a copy of the deposition or whatever. And one of the days, the first deposition, Barry said, I'd like to file this under flippy dippy and Ken Moxley goes, no, we're not doing that. And then Barry's like, if we don't do that, then you're going to have to pay like $1,600 for today's transcript. And Ken Moxon says, yeah, I'll take 4, please. So they were planning, this was in their plan the whole time, that they would just rack up these costs and do $2,500 deposition live video feeds to David Miscavige and get all these copies and do all that. And that's where you get $42,000 of costs and fees for filing and this and that and the other thing. So
yeah, because it was not lawyer fees, it was actual costs only.
Yeah. So that.
Oh, and also let's not forget that. So when they sent this letter, when Scientology sent this letter to our lawyers, they said, oh, and if they don't pay, we are going to aggressively pursue every collection angle available to us.
Yeah, that's right. is that in the thing?
No, that was in an email that
they sent. Oh, that's right. When they sent, hey, we the deadline's coming up. We haven't gotten our check. If we don't get our check, we're going to aggressively collect this. And I've got a company and we have a house and, you know, all these things. So it's just like, okay, I see what they're going to do. They're going to try to take our house and sell it so they can get their 40 G's and, you know, or whatever. I don't know what they're going to do. So I sold my company van and we scraped up all our savings and we paid the $42,000. We just paid them. We wrote them a check.
Yep.
And then this is how we get back to Jason. Jason says, "What happened?" I said, "Oh, I wrote him a check." He goes, "You paid them?" And I said, "Yeah, they're gonna come after my house. They're gonna take my company, or I don't know what they're gonna do. They just said they were gonna aggressively collect. So I don't know what that means. It could have mean they're just gonna go give us our money. I don't know. It could have been anything. Aggressively collect. Either way, I wrote him a check. And Jason goes, "Oh, dude, that's so wrong. You have done so much to expose Scientology, and you're fighting for all these other people. Da 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 da. We should do a GoFundMe. Forget that. There's no way you should pay this." So I was like, okay. Anyway, so GoFundMe was started, and a week later we had 50K. And was it 9K? How much did we get for Marty?
I think it was 8,000.
Yeah, it was $8,000 or $9,000. Marty Rathbun, who was on our side during the lawsuit, the time period of the lawsuit, he had done a fundraiser for Debbie Cook. And if you don't know who Debbie Cook is, just Google Debbie Cook. There's a ton of Debbie Cook videos, but she testified in a lawsuit where Scientology was suing her. And they ended up paying her a couple of some amount of money, many zeros afterwards. And when Marty had raised funds for that, he had about $8,000 or $9,000 left. And after about a week or so, we'd only had like, I want to say 30,000 something in the GoFundMe. And he was just
which was still amazing.
Yeah, within a few days we'd had, the first day, I think we had 10,000. Like, hey, there's a GoFundMe, 10,000. Then next day, 20,000.
Unbelievable.
Anyway, Marty just wrote a thing on the GoFundMe. Hey, because we had this left, I'm going to donate the entire remainder of our legal support fund or whatever they called it to the Headleys. And if anybody disagrees, contact me and I'll give you your money back. But otherwise, we're giving it all to the Headleys for the fees that Scientology made them pay. So at the end of the week, we were whole again, plus some, I think. Like, it was fees, costs, and a little extra. Poof, we're clean again. Okay, and that brings us to today. Scientology. Oh, no. Then there's one little part of the story. Remember that other case that never went away? Well, after this case, and after the judge said, if they would have done these causes of action, they would have probably had a much better chance of winning. That other case had those causes of action in it. Mm-hmm. And Scientology started sweating. Okay, so that lawsuit's going forward. Somehow, some way, Scientology started trying to depose us newly in that lawsuit. And we were like, what? We're done. Now you guys are trying to depose us. And it was like, this is what, we're still not out of this, even though we're done. We paid them the money. The case is over, and now they're still jacking with us. So we, a very, very generous donor, hired the best law firm, the most notoriously awesome law firm in Colorado, and to represent us against this new attack from Scientology trying to depose us in this other case.
And because they had sent process servers to our front door late at night, again, as they are prone to do, and they wanted to see all of our communications and all this other stuff. And we're like, what the heck?
Yeah. They wanted to attach a vacuum to our house and suck up every document that we'd ever created so that they could get current intel. And this is what Scientology does do. If you get into a lawsuit with them, they use it as an intelligence gathering operation to basically say, oh, you're suing us? Okay, good. We want all these documents. And unless your lawyers are really good, you're going to end up giving them all those documents. Okay, so we get this request. We hire these hotshot lawyers in Colorado, and they basically send the most epic GTF. What is it? G. They told them to go screw themselves. Okay.
Yes. And in very excellent legal language.
Like, holy moly. This is an amazing letter from a lawyer to another set of lawyers.
Yes.
Okay. And guess what, guys? We don't get deposed. It's over. There's no more. And this was Scientology's kind of like last ditch effort to try to sideline this case or get this other case thrown out. And they can't do it. Now, when the other attorneys that are working for the other client see the letter from our attorneys, they're like, this is a really good letter. And this could, we could probably send pretty much the exact same letter on behalf of the other client. And so that's what happens. They take that, they send, so this is now the person who's still suing Scientology, their attorneys send a very similar letter to Scientology, and whip, bing, bang, that case is done. Scientology settled that case. And Scientology paid, I don't know how much they paid, but it was a lot. I know it must have been a lot because I still know the people that did that case. And I want to say that they very likely got a very decent settlement just based on some of the things we've done together. So that happened. Okay, fine. So now we get to today. And Scientologists, like working on for OSA, the Stand League or OSA or whatever, just general trolls from Scientology that came out from under the Scientology bridge. They love to attack us on Twitter. And I got to pull this up. I have a thing here. Let me just load it into the. Can I load it? Can I do it? Oh my goodness. They like to put this thing on Twitter about how they got us to pay this $42,000. There in the ruling, it says in the same ruling that we showed you that quote from, it just says the Headleys are ordered to pay $42,000. Okay, they love to tweet that little thing up all over there on Twitter and say like, blown for good, broke for good. He had to pay us $42,000. And I think to myself like, yeah, I paid $42,000. And you had to pay like millions and millions. At one point, I was told by somebody within Scientology that they had likely spent over $10 million fighting our lawsuit. 10 million on the lawyers and the First Amendment expert and this expert and RTC's lawyers and CSI's lawyers and David Miscavige's lawyers and all these people. I was told they spent $10 million. And then they settled that other lawsuit for probably that much or more. And then they had to, do all the PIs and all the people that they were hiring to spy on us this whole time. And they want to brag on Twitter about how they spent this we had to spend this $42,000. And then I was thinking about it the other day and I thought, well, what about all the amazing things that we got out of the lawsuit? People are like, what are you talking about? Well, first of all, I put a whole book out about Scientology and they entered it as fact. And every person who puts a book out about Scientology would say, we're going to sue you. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And they never do anything because there's nothing they can do. If they get into a lawsuit with somebody who writes the book, that person can easily just say, I want all my pay stubs. I want all my this. I want all my files. You can do that discovery thing in reverse. And that's one of the reasons why Scientology doesn't sue. You know, Aaron's saying some wild stuff over on his channel. They're not suing him because if they do that, he'll be able to prove that all the stuff he's saying is 100% true. And so they don't do anything. Okay, so I got this book. I cranked out this book. Now, Scientology, we're suing Scientology, saying you're forcing women to terminate pregnancies earlier, even if they want to can go through to full term with the pregnancy. You're saying they can't do that. You're beating people up. You're making things, and this is a key point. If you make things that you sell, that the company you work for sells, and you live on the same property, that's like one of the number one telltale signs of human trafficking. Well, the Int base, they're making e-meters, they're making cassettes, they're making CDs, they're making DVDs, they're making all these products, and they live on the property. So can't have that.
And they held our passports.
Oh yeah, and
that was another key element. Yeah,
all these things they were up to. Guess what, guys? Reportedly, they had to stop doing those things while they were being sued for doing those things. So you'll know, we know personally, at least I want to say 10 or 15 couples where the wife got pregnant, they had their kid, and they left the Sea Org. And some of them, and most of them, left Scientology because if you're pregnant, you can't stay. And if we tell you we don't want you to be pregnant anymore, and you say, no, I still do want to be pregnant, then you get to leave. It's basically like a get out of jail free card if you're in the Sea Org. And
we should mention, by the way, that we had compiled a list of people that we knew that had been forced to do this. And it was, I think, easily 70 people that we personally knew
about the pregnancies.
Yes.
And that was
it entered into the case too.
That's right. A lot of these things that we were claiming, we had really good evidence of it happening.
Yep.
So Scientology knew that if they kept doing this, or if this was a key thing, if somebody who left more recently than us and they kept doing it, then that person could file a lawsuit. And because of the way we did our lawsuit, we kind of showed, don't do it this way, do it this way. And so, and here's another crazy thing. They started paying the ex-members who had left that didn't say anything. They started paying them $25,000, $30,000, $50,000, getting them to sign new documents and giving them money to make them be quiet. And this was happening all around us. We would literally get a call from somebody to say, hey, I just met with Tommy Davis and Jessica Feshbach. And I was like, what did they say? Well, they told me not to talk to you. And I was like, cool, awesome. What else did they say? They said they'd give me $25,000 if I shut up and I just go about my business. And I was like, well, you ain't saying anything and you're already going about your business. And they're like, yeah, it sounds like I'm going to get 25 G's. Anyway, so they're doing all this. And okay, so then now we got these couples escaping. I want to say there's probably 20 or 30 kids floating around today that were born because of our lawsuit.
Oh, more than that. More than that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know
absolutely more than that.
I know of 20. I know of 20 kids.
I know, but this had impact on all C organizations.
Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah. So what else do we have? Oh, also the FBI was investigating them. So I'd be like, okay, that's probably decent. That's a decent result of us filing a lawsuit, because this is what happens. You can talk about Scientology all you want on YouTube. If you file a lawsuit and documents go into the court system and you have proof that nefarious nonsense is going on in Scientology, that's looked at a lot different than some YouTube videos. Okay. The average viewer sees the YouTube video that we're doing and he goes, hoo, I'm not getting involved with Scientology. But law enforcement, it's not really much they're going to do. This video, us saying it happened, is not proof that it happened. But when you start entering documents and as evidence into a case, and you start doing filings and it's official, then these things sort of stick, and government agencies and law enforcement can now start to build a file and do stuff. Okay. Yeah. So all that happened. Guess what, Scientology? 50K or whatever it was, 42,000, best 42K I ever spent. Okay. I would do
Hands down.
I would do it again. Do you want some more money? Well, let's make a list of all our new demands and we'll pay that, and we'll just keep doing it until you're out of business, because there's nothing you can do. So I wanted I wanted to make this video so I could post it under the trolls that post on Twitter with, we made you pay 42K. And I'm going to say, oh yeah. Remember when you paid that Larry Wallersham guy tens of millions of dollars? Remember, like, you guys have paid $100 million for nonsense that's been stirred up by SPs, and we had to pay 42K. Whoop-de-doop-de-doo. Like, it's so not a big deal. Also, I didn't pay it. I paid it, and then it was given right back to me. So it's even more laughable that we crowdfunded all of the nonsense that you made us pay. And so it was like a double whammy. We got all that value, we got the money back, and we're whole again. So yeah, I would definitely do it again, because I didn't have to do it at all.
And we have our freedom and our voice.
Oh yeah, I still have the book, dude.
And we haven't ratted out our friends and media or anything else. I mean,
we didn't have to spy. We didn't have to turn over the book, and we didn't have to be your little bitches. So it was totally worth it. And I could probably do it all again. But meanwhile, now everybody goes, you can win a case against Scientology. Maybe not in the court system, because if you file a case against Scientology and they can write a chair, if they can write a check to make it a go away, they're writing checks. They've been writing checks. Scientology has never, ever won a jury trial. Scientology hasn't. You've got other cases that happen against individuals. Scientology itself, when a jury finds out what Scientology's up to, Scientologists go to jail. And that's what happened. That the last case that I think had to go before a jury might have been the Snow White case, where like 11 top officials served prison time for infiltrating, for the largest infiltration of the United States government in its history. Just Google Operation Snow White, and you'll find out a whole bunch of Scientologists went to jail. So 42,000 on Twitter, guys. You had to pay 40. Oh, remember when the top executives of Scientology went to prison, and one of them was L. Ron Hubbard's own wife, and she fell on his sword for him and took the blame and went to jail. Yeah. This 42K thing, I love it. I'm going to respond with the link to this video from now on to show at least whoever thinks that happened and that it was a big deal, they can see, oh, Scientology's paid about 42 million in the last few years sorting out nonsense that they've been up to. I made a few notes. I just want to make sure I've got. Oh yeah, they also paid $25 million to 2 private investigators. Scientology paid $25 million to 2 private investigators to watch one guy. And that guy was Pat Broker. Now you would say, why would Scientology pay $25 million to watch this one dude? Well, not only was he the one dude that L. Ron Hubbard actually turned Scientology over to run, because Dave didn't do what L. Ron Hubbard told him to do, so he didn't want Dave to be running the joint. He turned it over to Pat Broker. But the other reason Pat Broker was in charge is because Pat Broker had OT 9 and 10. Now, there was only, L. Ron Hubbard only released and gave to Scientology up through OT level 8. But supposedly, according to Pat Broker, L. Ron Hubbard had written OT 9 and 10, but Pat Broker had it. And he didn't tell Dave where it was. Well, when Dave booted Pat Broker out and they searched through all his stuff, there was no OT 9 and 10. And they went through all their LRH's stuff, and there was no OT 9 and 10. So nobody had any copies of this supposed OT. It was actually like OT 9 through 15, but Pat said he specifically had OT 9 and 10. Okay, so they never found it. There is no OT 9 and 10. L. Ron Hubbard never did it. But in the rare case that he did, and Pat Broker had it, and he was going to do something with it, David Miscavige needed to keep his eye on Pat Broker. Because if Scientology got OT 9 and 10, and they were actually OT levels 9 and 10, they'll make a few $100 million off of it. So spending $25 million watching one guy who got kicked out of Scientology, that's a bargain, total bargain. Anyway, they never did get it. Pat Broker never did say, oh yeah, here it is, and start doing OT 9 and 10 on people. Nothing ever happened because there is no OT 9 and 10. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of things that have happened since our lawsuit. And there's a whole bunch of things that we feel were benefits, and also helping lawyers and law enforcement and other organizations kind of navigate the Scientology nonsense, and be able to convict them or something, or get them to stop doing nonsense that they're up to.
Yep.
Is there anything that I left out?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the story of our lawsuit, and that is that's what happened, and those are some of the results that happened of it. And now, meanwhile, Scientology has lawsuits coming all the time now. This is not a new thing at all, and they have been kind of sneaking through with this arbitration thing. And I think once they lose their official recognition as a tax-exempt organization, or they are convicted of any number of the many crimes that they're currently involved in, credit card fraud, elder abuse, child abuse, all the things that they're like currently doing. If they lose that religious recognition, then that arbitration thing is gone, and then that's the end of it. So that's kind of where we're at right now. And I am positive that there will be many developments in this area in the next several months or years, because there's more Scientologists that are leaving, there's more that are telling this story, and there's more that want their money back. Oh, this is another thing. If you give money to Scientology, like say you want to do a course, you give them $2,500, and then you do the course, they take the $2,500 off your account. If you give them $100,000 and you do a $2,500 course, that other money is just sitting there on account. If you leave Scientology and you say, hey, I want my money back, they say, okay, but you're going to be a declared SP. Well, now people are like, yeah, sure, no problem. I'm a declared SP. Can you write me a check? They're like, no, we're not writing you a check. You're like, what? It used to be if you ask for a refund, they give you a refund and then they declare you. Well, now no one gives a shit about being declared an SP. It's actually kind of like a badge of honor now. Like if you're an SP, it's like, hey, hey, I'm an SP. By the way.
We're some of the few that actually have the written piece of paper that says,
yes,
we're declared a suppressive person. They don't even give people that anymore. So much for Scientology's policy. If it isn't written, it isn't true, right?
Yeah, they will not even give you a copy because it's so awesome that you could get one.
Yep.
So they won't even give it out now. Anyway,
nope.
So yeah, there's a whole bunch of awesome stuff happening. But they're not giving back that money. So people are suing them to get that money back. And also people are, people are telling their stories, and just that fact alone, Scientologists and Sea Org members that escaped or that were even kicked out of Scientology would never tell their stories because they were worried about what Scientology would do to them and what the repercussions would be of that. And it works if there's 2 people. It doesn't work when there's 100 people, because they can't harass effectively 100 people or 1,000 people or 10,000 people. 2 people, they can do it just fine. And if you can stick it out long enough to get harassed and get a few more people on board, then over the years, the repercussions start thinning out because they have to spread the love because there's 10 more people speaking out, not just one. She has to do it at least. If that's a drink, you got to drink, guys. It's Friday. I'm gonna take a sip. But every video's got to have at least one Claire message alert. She was gone for last week. So when I leave, nobody does what I do. She does whatever she does. And when I leave, like I do the grocery shopping, there was no the food that I left in the fridges was the food that they ate for the 3 weeks that I was gone.
I left you with some meals. Come on now. I did.
The mailman delivers milk and eggs and butter and all that stuff. But the shopping is done by me. Anyway, when she left, I have to do whatever I do, and I have to do all the stuff she does. Oh, I am not cut out for mom duty. Oh my goodness. I go to bed at like 2:30 in the morning. I had to get up at 6:30. And after 4 days of that, I was running pretty ragged. Anyway, either way, I don't even remember what we were talking about. I was mind wiped by your phone.
Yep.
Either way, now that there's so many people that are telling their stories and so many people that are exposing Scientology's crimes, it's really hard for them to fair game everybody. And that's why they have these websites, because they can't do it in real life. They can only do it on the internet because they just don't have the resources, and they can cut and paste the websites. So that's their new strategy, is to have just internet trolls and hate sites. And this is the craziest thing. They have hate sites, hundreds and hundreds of them, thousands and thousands of domain names that all point to these hate sites about every person who was on the Aftermath, about Mike, about Leah, about us. Excuse me. And then they have all these trolls on Twitter, and the name, this is the best name ever. One of the trolls, his name is Hate Monitor. And I was like, yeah, they have to have a hate monitor because they got so many hate sites and so much hate that they're spewing. They have to have somebody to monitor it all. They, of course, are pretending that's about us, but their Twitter account is like Hate Monitor, and the Stand League is set up to defeat the hate, and it's just like hate. Yeah, you guys are the ones that are in the hate. We're in the facts department. We're in the truth telling department. You guys are in the hate business. We don't care. I actually think that Twitter trolls are awesome. I know it's like Stephanie Hutchinson and some of these guys are always tweeting at Elon to stop the trolls. If he shuts down the trolls, he's going to shut down us too. It's like you can't have two sets of people saying what the truth is. He's not the arbiter of what's true about Scientology, or if Scientology is telling the truth. He's not the one. He's not going to take them down. We're going to let them be, and we're going to, because everything they do is proof of everything that we say that they do. So let them do it. They're going to get lit up for it. They're going to get investigated. And they're going to get convicted. They're not stopping. They can't stop L. Ron Hubbard policy.
They're further documenting that Scientology is a criminal organization.
Totally. You can't use taxpayer money and be subsidized by the public to put out hate websites. You can't do it. Anyway, so that's my video. That's my rant. I can't wait to link every time I see one of these Twitter trolls. I'm just going to send them to this video, and then that's going to be my response. I like to engage every once in a while, but it's much better just to say here, if you can't, and of course they can't read it or they can't look at it, but whatever. I'm not even going to yip yap with them anymore. I'm just going to send them this. Wow, we got 1,800 people in here. Thank you guys. That's amazing. Awesome. If you're in here, hit the like and subscribe. It's free. You don't have to pay to subscribe. And also, Scientology is not going to hunt you down. I heard that's another reason some people don't subscribe, because they're Scientologists and they're like, if I subscribe, then Scientologists is going to be able to find out about me. I'm just like, they're not. We
won't have you on a mailing list for the next 100 years.
Yeah, we're not going to Bed Bath and Beyond
trace and find your addresses and phone numbers. None of that. Just simple notifications, so you know when we go live. And this weekend we'll be announcing when we will start and launch the new series that I've been working on. Where is Shelley Miscavige?
Yes.
So you want those notifications, people. It's going to be epic.
Yeah, and we aren't doing a thing where we're trying. I've been doing this on the community tab. We're going to get to the Q&A in just a minute, guys. Anybody who's waiting for the Q&A, we're going to get to it. Come on.
Yes.
Take it easy. Don't bite my head off. People are like, I want my questions. What was I going to say? Yeah, I got mine wiped again by the Q&A. No.
I said, where's Shelly, that we'll announce that this weekend.
Yeah, we're
when
releasing.
The first one will drop.
Yeah, we're releasing notes in the community page and the posts on here. So like we had a poll. We're going to do a little Christmas fun thing for Christmas. So I put a poll up in the community, just in the post on the YouTube channel. And I'll put a link to that post in the description as well. We want to know how many of these little we're going to call them boss baby elves. We're going to make these little boss baby elves for Christmas. And we want to know if you want one. If you want one, we want you to say, yes, I want one, just so we don't make too little. We did bobbleheads. I said, hey, how many people want them? And like, I got like 20 people who said I want it. And I was like, okay. And then after a week or so, it was like 100 people. I was like, okay, I'll try to do 500. I made 500. We sold that in a week. So I'm like, you guys got to give me a little bit of a heads up so we make enough. I don't want to make 1,000 and then we have 5,000 people that want them. So if you want one, then say you want one. And if you want it for a certain price, say what you want it for the price as well. Don't just say, it depends on the price. Tell me what you'd want one to be, and I'll try to make it that cost. I can't guarantee that's the cost, but at least if I know there's like 2,000 people who'd pay $25 for little boss baby elf. So
and since we have almost 1,900 people in the chat, if for anyone who hasn't subscribed, we are 55 away from hitting 30,000 subscribers.
You 55? Oh, mine says.
Sorry. Looking at the wrong screen.
Oh my goodness.
255.
Yes, 255.
Sorry, the one of the numbers was covered up, so I wasn't looking straight. But we're very close. There's that many people here right now.
There are. We could be at 30K in this stream. Either way, if you subscribe, you're going to find out about these new Shelly interviews that Claire does, which are amazing. I've already edited 1 or 2 of them, and they're sitting there parked. And we're even thinking about maybe in the community tab for the subscribers, sending them a thing saying, here's the video, and making it private so just they can see it as the first kind of a benefit for being a subscriber. And then the next day we'd make it public or something like that. So we're toying around with that. So just another reason to hit subscribe if you want. I think that's it. I don't think I got trolls, flippy dippy ding, flippy dippy do. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So if we got any we got a whole bunch of things here. Apollonia Paradise. Hi from Ottawa, Canada. Claire, read your testimony transcripts. You aced it. What? Oh, read. Claire, read your testimony transcripts. You aced it. Thanks for standing up for all that is right. Yeah, we can't talk about that here. But thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And this is just a Claire heart tweet. Thank you, H for M Street team.
I am so glad to be in Colorado today. You have no idea.
Yeah. Growing up in Scientology, Aaron says, can Mark send me some crackers for my French dip sandwich? I like my crackers pre-licked. That's disgusting. Thank you very much. Calico 26 says, I know you can't talk about the trial, but what did you wear?
We'll cover all of that when it's appropriate. How about that? We have a picture.
Tarkina Meyer says, so happy for all the work you've been doing. Loved hearing how amazing you did, Claire. SPTV rocks. Yeah, SPTV is going to be, I think we're going to be up to like 20 channels by the end of the month. We're going to start like making a list of all of the Scientology YouTube channels. And yeah, it's going to be amazing. SP Tattoo Warrior says, while reading the transcripts for Claire's testimony, I could hear Claire saying words and see poor Sean just melting into the floor. Yeah, we're going to cover this in a video when the trial's over. We'll have some stuff. We might have some fun surprises for you guys. Married 1982 says, so very happy to see Claire.
Thank you.
I am happy to see her as well. We are proud SP double dippers and single lickers. Oh my goodness. I'm a cracker licking Claire Bear. Thank you, Care for JCYT. Oh, yikes. SPTV Tattoo Warrior says, I had a colonoscopy last week. When I woke up, they brought me crackers. They were suspiciously missing salt. Mark, did you visit me during my surgery in Spokane? No. And also, I eat the whole cracker. I don't know how many times you guys got to hear this. I do not lick crackers. I eat the whole thing. Aaron trial coverage about Claire hit 55,000 views. Yeah, actually, wow. I was 66,300. I was one of the people watching it. John, glad you got the stuff. I think DM Elf on the Shelf is okay, but I think better one would be DM The Grinch That Stole Christmas. Yeah, but I got to make something that's fun that also people can buy, and then they can have it in their house and it won't be weird. So if it's a little elf that's just dressed like a captain or has a different outfit on, I think that would be awesome. And also, it's just awesome. It's very, very light. It's very, very innocent, and it would be good for a cause. And I think we haven't really discussed this, but I'm thinking it's going to benefit the Aftermath Foundation, and so the proceeds will go to the Aftermath, which is a great cause. And then that way, even if it is a little poking fun, it's poking fun that's going to result in helping people get back on their feet after they get out of Scientology, which we are having a lot more and more people contact the foundation based on these videos happening. More people are finding out about the foundation, but more and more Scientologists are navigating their way out of Scientology and reaching out to us. So that's a great
thing. We had some amazing updates this last week from people the foundation is helping. We'll be talking about that later, but
yeah, we have a person
amazing.
We have a person that we've been working with for years, guys. Years. This person has been working on basically getting back on their feet after getting out of Scientology. And we're finally at a point where he's doing so good and he's doing good enough that we're going to start telling his story. And this story is amazing. And I don't, you mind if I say who's working on it with us?
No, go right ahead.
Kelly Copter is collaborating with us on this video, and she's going to help us put it together. We have tons of footage, and we have tons of interviews, and we have tons of stuff. I just don't physically have the time to sit down and edit it. And Kelly Copter had offered to edit some stuff, so we're gonna do a collab. And she's also edited some stuff for Claire too. And so hopefully this works out. Hopefully it works out for Kelly Copter. But we're very excited about this stuff that's coming up. And this is purely an aftermath project that happened. And if this story doesn't get a lot more attention for the aftermath and raise a ton more money to help other people, then I don't know what else we'll be able to do. But I think it will. I think it's going to be amazing. And I think you guys are going to love it. And it gives you a little glimpse into what goes on behind the scenes. Like we're doing, Claire has a company. I have a company. We do this. We do Aftermath. We it's not enough hours in the day for all the stuff that we're trying to get done.
Mark always tells me I have more jobs than a Jamaican. It cracks me up every time.
Question, Claire, it sounds like you did a wonderful job testifying. Going by what Aaron said, I think your testimony will really help the jury understand why the Jane Does did what they did. Yes, we hope so. We love SPTV. Boom. Thank you. Appreciate that, Tamara or Tamara. Walker 29152. Claire was there. Anyone in the audience trying to intimidate you while testifying? You're an amazing woman. We can't talk about the case, but no one messed with her. Rural SD lawyer, and at least a few people in the flyover states like South Dakota. Yes. I don't know what that's in reference to, but yes.
Awesome. And thanks for being here, Rural SD lawyer. We see you all the time. We appreciate you being here.
Definitely a frequent flyer of this channel and the chats. Kimber DeSmith. Has there been an uptick in people reaching out to the Aftermath Foundation since the trial started to keep up the great work? Not really since the trial started, I would say, but there have been an uptick in people. The more we talk about the Aftermath, the more reaches we get, and the more we talk about the aftermath, the more donations and the more volunteers we get. So we always try to talk about the aftermath in our videos. There's always a link in to the Aftermath Foundation in my videos, in Aaron's videos. I think Mike's putting links to it in his videos. We're trying to make sure that Scientologists that are watching these videos know that there's a place that they can go. We know that there's Scientologists watching these videos because we hear from tons of them. And a lot of them will say, you know, you said this might be happening. It's totally happening. And here's the details. So, that happened the other night. I was talking about these kids making e-meters, and the kids that made the e-meters reached out to me.
Yes.
And other people that have stuff to do with e-meters reached out to me. And so, yeah, we definitely.
And to reiterate, there are 7 members of the board. We are all completely unpaid. It is volunteer work only. Any donations go entirely to helping people leave Scientology.
Yeah. So we don't spend any money on paying us. So Luis, Mike, Aaron, myself, none of us, Ray Jeffrey, no one takes a salary from the foundation. And like SP Shop, all the proceeds go to the Aftermath Foundation. So we're trying, like, they have these donation things where you say, like, what's the percentage of money that goes? It's like 99.99999, whatever the tiny percentages is, like paying the money to be a nonprofit in this state or that state, or filing this. Right. It's all the operational costs, like the paper.
Shipping Aftermath Foundation cards to people to give them out.
And printing off the cards. Yeah. Okay. Jennifer says, I'm subscribed with all the notifications on, and I just looked through all my notifications for the past 2 days and did not get one for this live. Dang YouTube. Yeah. It has something to do with the likes, and it has something to do with the subscribers. That's all we know. We don't know why you do or why we don't. We can only say, send notifications when you put a new video up, and we hope that YouTube will send them. Robert says, love and hugs from Sweden. Thank you, Robert. Helfkisk. Thank you. Mark Fisher. Very well done, Claire Superstar. Your new show just dropped. When Tommy first met Davey the Boss Baby. Stories from Janice and Mark. Yeah. If you haven't, head over to Mark Fisher and Janice Grady have a channel. I think it's called My Scientology Stories Our Scientology Stories Peeling the Onion. And there are another 2 people that just fired up a channel. I'm telling you, Scientology is paying so much money on advertising that YouTube's pushing up all these channels for people to watch them, because millions of dollars are spent on advertising Scientology, and no one's putting out any content about Scientology. Hi from the UK, KUTGW. Keeping up with the
Keep up the good work.
Oh, keep up the good work. There you go. Thank you, Joe. I learned a new Scientology internet acronym every day.
We're really good at figuring out acronyms. It's kind of built into our programming.
Crystal Subrousseau. Question, Claire, did you get to have any fun while you were in LA? Oh my goodness, this girl.
I did a hike that was 3.5 miles, and it was amazing.
Yeah, and you also did some hanging out with fun people and doing fun stuff, which we will talk about when we do the after trial videos. We're going to talk about all kinds of new stuff. New drinking game. Every time Tio says, when we broke this story, we drink. Well, okay.
Oh, okay. So just to clarify, I think this was when we were, either way, I don't know what it's about, but somebody was asking in the comments when we were talking about our GoFundMe, where we made back the $42,852 that we paid for the lawsuit. Tony did share our GoFundMe, as did Joe Childs at the St. Pete Times at the time, and as did many other people.
Yeah. And a bunch of people that did donate were members of the Underground Bunker team.
Absolutely.
That paid attention to that blog. Yes, thank you for that. Destiny Salazar says, is there any kind of legislation in the works that would limit arbitration, or at least require both parties to consent? I don't know about that. I know that this little parade that Scientology's on currently with this arbitration thing someone's gonna have to figure out a way around this and poke a hole in it. But the more cases that go through, at a certain point, they're going to figure it out, or Scientology is going to lose their tax exemption. And when they lose their tax exemption, for some reason, the IRS is the one who decides if you're tax exempt. And that means if you're a religion or not. So as soon as they start having to pay taxes, then that's going to start making these arbitration nonsense. That's going to lose its teeth. And Scientology play this, they do this thing called religious cloaking. They pretend they're a religion so they can have all the benefits as a religion, even though they're a criminal corporation that's it's a for-profit thing that make money. They're masquerading as a nonprofit religion. Question, Mark, any chance of you doing a current interview with Jason McGay? We'd love to see him on SPTV. I don't know. He doesn't really talk about Scientology anymore. And he has a whole new life, and he has a new TV show, Chicago PD. If anybody doesn't know, he's the main cop. He's Sergeant Voight on Chicago PD on NBC.
You do the best Jason impersonation of anybody. Just saying.
Yeah. And I won that wrestling match with you, Mark. You wimp. I have never wrestled with Jason since. Question, Mark, do you think inflated stories of wrestling match are when the cage fighter came from in your SP files? Oh, no, I don't think so. So this person's referring in one of the spy files, the people that are going over to my house and spying on me are reporting back to OSA, the Office of Special Affairs, Scientology's spy wing. They're reporting back to OSA that I like cage fighting. Well, it's called the UFC, and it's an MMA fighting. But at the time, it was pretty new. UFC was started maybe that year or a few years, and it was just starting to be on TV. And I would invite, that was one of the SP parties that we'd have. I'd invite all these ex-Scientologists over, and we'd have a fight night and drink and hang out. And, it was just, people would come who didn't even care about the fighting, but they just come over to hang out and chat and share stories and that kind of thing. And so Osa was like, he's into cage fighting. And also I had said a cage fighting term is a rear naked choke. And it's just when somebody chokes you from behind. And I had said a rear naked choke in one of the postings as BFG and Blown for Good that I would post on the internet. And so they were like, oh, BFG likes cage fighting too. And Marc Headley likes cage fighting. Anyway, SPTV Tattoo Warrior. Wow, she's just in here tonight. How is it possible that I've never been in Scientology, but when I listen to Claire interview former members, even when they're speaking their secret language, I understand it. We're trying. So we don't, this is kind of our strategy, guys. We wanted to do a bunch of videos and kind of give you the foundation. If you're coming in here new, you might have to go back and watch some of these videos, because in the first 80 videos, we're explaining the terms and everything that we're saying as we're telling the stories, so that we can get to a point where we don't have to do that in every single video. And you guys sort of know the lay of the land, even though I, more than anybody, tend to say Office of Special Affairs instead of OSA. And, I try to explain the terms, and we're trying more and more to talk with and use the kind of the concepts in Scientology, but not use the terms. And that helps people understand a little bit. But
yeah. And my take on that, and we've talked about this before, but Scientology uses semantics to isolate and control its members. And for us, we will tend to, when we're talking with somebody who we were in the C organization with, we will tend to revert to that language. So it's therapeutic for us to break out of that and speak in terms that anybody can understand. It makes it much more generally understandable and relatable to anybody. And that's what we're aiming towards. So,
yeah. And one of the reasons I still do use some of the things is that if you're a Scientologist and you're tuning in and we're only using WOG terms to explain Scientology, then it's not as real to them that we used to be in Scientology. When we talk the lingo, they follow along just fine.
Right.
And they know that we're really like, oh my gosh, these guys were really there. They really know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Samantha says, hi from Edinburgh, Scotland. Super happy to catch my first love. Love watching you both and hearing Mark's funny stories. Thank you, Samantha.
Yay.
We appreciate it. We tried to go on a little earlier today so that we could get to some of the late night people, and that where it's over across the pond. And
so also, to be honest, we're going to go hang out with our neighbors. So there you go.
Yeah, we do have a party at in a few minutes that we need to get to. Lathanda Grockling. Hi from Germany. Greetings to all cracker lickers, Claire Bears, Double Dippers, and Bobbleheads, and Golden Goldies. I missed you in streams, Claire.
Nice. Oh, Golden Goldies. I love that. Yeah. I missed everybody too. Thank you for having me back.
Even our moderators have followers.
I know. I love it. Goldie is the best. Shout out to Goldie.
Yes, world's Goldie best moderator. Is the best. I don't know.
She's amazing.
I think she's AI. There's no way she could do mics, R's.
Just say AI could never replicate Goldie's.
Well, I don't know how a person could do that either. 86 GOP. Claire, I'm glad you are now safely home. Thanks for all of your expert assistance in Los Angeles. Thank you, 86 GOP. We appreciate it. Aaron told me he had all kinds of fun with you in LA. Tawny Lane. Mike's people should call themselves the Blobbleheads. The Blobbleheads. The Blobbleheads. The Blobbleheads. Love all of you. Watch the SP channels. Thank you. To be fair, the channel fans have to pick their name. Those are the rules. Everybody knows the rules. That's what Andrew told me were the rules. That's the rules. The fans have to pick the name. Whichever thing sticks is the one. Music Band says, question, Claire and Mark, what about those caricatures Aaron posted? Mark looks like Drew Carey. Yeah.
Did you see that? I don't know.
I did. I showed it to you.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You did. Yeah.
I showed it to you, and then awesome. Aaron posted it. I'll have to get it. See if you can make a picture of that. We'll put it. I'll keep reading questions and we'll put it up. Can you do that?
Okay.
You know how to grab it, or you want to read the questions?
Yeah, I'll read the questions.
Okay, you read the questions and I'll grab it.
Okay, so let's see here.
The next one's for you anyway.
Hi, Claire. I'm the one who waved to you in the hallway on Wednesday. You're such a strong woman. You rocked it. Bless you. Helen girl. Thank you, Helen. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Vincent Giggles, you two are couple goals. Can you tell me what episode you were on of Scientology in the Aftermath? Your audiobook was amazing, Mark. We were actually in all 3 seasons of the Aftermath. In season 1, we were on what I think is episode 5 called Golden Era. In season 2, we were on the Aftermath of the Aftermath. And beyond season 3, I can't remember the name of it, but we were in an episode of that one too. So there you go. Hopefully that helps. Let's see here. Batgoat, flippy dippy ding dong. There you go. That is a Markism for sure.
Flippy.
Dino Dank. Wife and I drove out to LA from Kansas to attend the first BFG bash. Loved it. When was that? That was in 2009, I think, right? 2009 or 2010, maybe.
You're right.
When we did the Pyramid Lake with the jet skis and
yeah, I would have these SP parties, and they got so popular. That people we didn't even know that had left Scientology would come to these things. And I had jet skis, and we would go to the lake. And one time we went to the Venice Beach.
Yes.
It was like sometimes 20, 30 people would show up to these SP parties. And those were a lot of fun. Yeah, Pyramid Lake jet ski party. I know exactly who this couple is now that they said this.
I remember too.
Hey guys, good to see you. Good to hear from you again.
Thanks for being here.
But yeah, that's right. We would do that. I'm trying to find.
That's okay.
Aaron.
I'll keep going. Denver Stevo in the house. Good to see you here. Hello, Claire, Mark, and Osa from Upper West Falcon, Colorado. First, Mike's followers are the blah, blah, blobbleheads. Second, love the Begay, even more so after hearing the story of his support to get your money back. Yes, he's an amazing person.
Yeah, Jason's a good dude.
Yeah, he is. All righty here, moving on. Jessica Hankins. Tony Ortega claims credit with the Village Voice for paying the entire court costs. He did it yesterday on YouTube. We covered that. It was a GoFundMe that we put together. Tony definitely promoted it, and we had a lot of support as well as from other sources. Grateful for everybody who helped because it was incredibly inspiring at a time where we needed some inspiration. So there you go.
Yeah, it was very emotional when that happened. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah. Like, I remember emailing every single individual person that donated, and I was pregnant with our third son at the time as well, which made it even more emotional, if you get my drift. So there you go. Maria de Jesus Gutierrez. I was there. Claire did great. Thank you for being there, Maria. Appreciated. Let's see here. Pebbles S. Just subscribed. Been watching for a few months now. SPTV is brilliant. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for subscribing. We appreciate it. All right, Melissa. You can't do it. Scientology.
I just can't find it.
Okay, you want me to try and look then?
I get so many emails. I get something and then I'm like, oh yeah, I've got that, and it's just like, yeah, it's somewhere. I got, I got 100 photos. I got it.
I found it.
I have it in my photos because I saved
it. So then I'll do a few more while you upload that then.
I got it.
Okay, Melissa, Scientology trolls under the Scientology bridge. Oh my gosh, too funny. Is the bridge called Total Freedom? Yes, LOL, did you say that on purpose? It's the bridge to total failure. Yeah. Or it's the bridge to GTFO. Okay, let's see here. Oh yeah. Lathanda Grocklinger. Hope I said that right. After reading the chat, I have to correct myself to the Blobbleheads. Sorry, I messed that up. Awesome. All righty. That's a good one. Farm DMS PhD. Okay. Great job on the new SPTV intro. Love it. Awesome. And I love that we have such creative people in this community that we get music, intros, you name it. It's just incredible. Thank you for the incredible contributions, people.
Yeah, that MTV, SPTV music intro, it was edited by a fan, and I gave him credit in the video. But we get a lot of videos like that. I don't always use them, every single one that we get, but we do get a lot of amazing content and logos and funny pictures and all that kind of stuff, and we love it. If you send it in and it's good, it's cool, and I like it, the chances are I'll use it in a video that day, or if not, I will save it and say, oh, I can't wait to use this. Anyway, this is this thing that somebody had done.
Let me take off that comment. Yeah, I know I'm doing it.
This is a character somebody sent, an SPTV caricature that someone sent in. And I think it's hilarious. I mean, Mike and Aaron look great. I look like a big fatso, but I am a big fatso, so yeah, that's what I look like.
It. I love the glasses that they got your glasses on there.
Yeah, and this is the other one that I was telling you guys about earlier.
Oh, no. Oh, so that's not the one I was looking for. There is another one of like a drawing that somebody did of you and I got it like as I was, as I was having like phone meltdown on Monday. We switched over to new service and it was awful and everything was going haywire and I haven't been able to find it. So I have to track that down.
We'll figure it out.
If the person's here, please resend it to me. I'm really sorry.
Okay.
Anyway.
How about an oh my goodness t-shirt or mug? Love watching all of you. Thanks for all you do. Is that a thing? Oh my goodness.
Well, I think you and I say that a fair amount. You especially say, oh my goodness.
I do.
I say it too.
I really started doing that since we started the channel because I need another exclamation that's too friendly. I don't normally say, oh my goodness. I say other things that YouTube doesn't. I mean, it doesn't hate them, but it doesn't love them either.
No.
Amy Scobie says, I have Matt and my declares. toilet paper.
Nice.
Yes.
And thanks for being here, Amy Scobie.
Yes,
thanks for the amazing
Amy.
mug that you gave me. It is so awesome. I love it.
You know, Amy sent me Blown for Good socks, and I wore them. I call them my lucky socks now, and I wore them the day that Claire testified.
Oh, you did?
Andy
I didn't
Fabulous.
even know that. That's
I don't. You can't tell somebody
moving, honey.
you're wearing your lucky socks, then they won't be lucky. You have to tell them after you wear them.
You're my rock. Thank you, honey.
You should display your SP like a badge of honor. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I love showing my suppressive person to Claire. I don't know. Oh yeah, there is a spy file. If you want to see our suppressive person declare, I read them head to toe in one of the spy files. Probably one of the beginning ones, I want to say. Gayatra Sharma says, "Hi from India. Good to see you, Claire. Did you know there's actually a Church of Scientology organization in New Delhi, India? It's crazy. I looked it up. You guys are amazing. Thank you for your effort. Hi, Osa." Yeah, thank you for that. I did not know there was one in India. They love to say how they have millions and millions of members. And I am planning on doing a video about that. Not like Aaron counted them up, and I'm going to tell you how they lost them. And that's going to be in a video coming up. I've already got a ton of notes on it. And I've even got some graphs and statistical evidence to show you. Shannon Graves just wanted to say hi. It's good to see your smiling faces. Thank you, Shannon.
Hey,
and congratulations, here, Shannon, on your beating the big ugly C word and getting a clear bill of health. I just saw that you had mentioned that, Shannon, and I wanted to congratulate you personally in a video that you're now watching. Thank you, Shannon. We met Shannon. This is the craziest story. Shannon is a huge Depeche Mode fan. That's been going on for a long time. Shannon was also supposedly watching these videos on YouTube, and we sat next to her at a Depeche Mode concert. Now, if that's not some craziness, I don't know what is.
And then the next night, she commented in the chat, and we were like, oh,
she didn't tell us when she was sitting next to us that she watched the YouTube channel. So we found out the next day, and I was like, what? Is that the same Shannon that we met last? Anyway, very crazy. Michael Mills, Mark and Claire are amazing. To have survived the toxic environment of Church of Scientology and come out being such wonderful people, kudos to you both. We try. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I yell and scream all the time, and I'm a cantankerous bastard to be around. But I try, I try. Amelia, most of the people who know me know that I am the way I am. I ain't changed a bit since they knew me at the crazy place.
My favorite was when one time you said to Leah, "I'm not good with patients. That's why I'm not a doctor." And she goes, "Really, Mark? Is that why you're not a doctor?"
Yeah. And she's like, "That's the reason. How about that you don't have a GED? How about that you throw up when anything is slightly gross? You just throw up immediately. You have a very weak stomach. And how about you're not that smart to be a doctor?" Yeah, she didn't get it. It was a joke about patients. It wasn't a joke about me not being a doctor.
No, anyway, she totally got it. That was what was hilarious.
Is hilarious, and that's why she says that. I don't know if they're available, but they're Real DM and Who is DM and all those variations. Be a great place for hosting shoops. Church of Scientology, just saying. Yeah, I have blownforgood.com and I have Who is Xenu. No.
Xenu is my homeboy.
Xenu is my homeboy. I own those two domains. Oh, and I also did buy marcheadley.com. I bought.
I have Claire Headley too.
Yeah, claireheadley.com.
Yep.
I bought. That was one of the very first things I did when I escaped from Scientology. Like even before Claire got out, I bought my domain name because I knew that sooner or later they were going to figure out the internet and they were going to start setting up websites, and they 100% did.
That's why they had to have like a 10-hour meeting where they're like, "Well, sir, the domain Marc Headley has already been purchased.
Yeah.
Now what?"
Yeah. I think I want to say I escaped like on the 4th or 5th of January. On the 6th of January is when I bought my domain name.
Pretty
Andy
good
Fabulous.
foresight there, honey, I must say.
The Queen is back. Long live the Queen. Way to go, Claire. They are going to do an episode on Law and Order Special Victims Unit. They might, right? A Law and Order. Now, I don't know if I should say this. They've already done a bunch of episodes that are loosely based on Scientology. Law and Order. There's another TV show that had a whole court case about it. I can't remember it right now. It's the one with James Spader. I had a media blackout for 15 years, so I don't know all the names of these shows. But anybody who's watching, there's got to be one of the 2,000 people that are watching right now know what the law show that had James Spader on it, where they did a whole episode. They know what it is. Lathanda, again, Mark, I finished your audiobook today. It was awesome. I loved every minute of it. Now I want Claire's book. Go right, Claire. People are waiting. Thank you for that. Yeah, Claire, while I was gone, and I didn't have a whole bunch of stuff that I was asking Claire to do all day, every day, she cranked out a whole bunch of her book. So hopefully I can give her enough time and time alone and not send so much work her way from my company, because she has her own company where she has tons of work to do. But I give her a fair amount of extra work as well. I am working on it. So hopefully do that.
It's coming together quite well. I just need to write faster. That's all.
Awesome. Love Food Kitchen. Monthly reminder to Claire not to forget to continue the series of your story where you left off. Mark interviewing Claire was such a lovely, special, meaningful story. Yeah, we kind of were starting that just to kind of see how it would work. And the main things we learned from that is that I need to shut up and just let Claire talk. That's pretty much the moral of the story of me interviewing Claire is just let Claire tell her story.
Let me just say, though, I know some people complain about that, but honestly, you bring humor to something that's very hard to bring any humor to, because there weren't a lot of funny parts to my story. So I appreciate it. I love talking about it. And plus, it's things that we have not really ever talked about in great depth. So my 2 cents.
Awesome. Thank you. But I will interject. Also, it was when we first started the channel and I was trying to clarify the terms and the places and not use abbreviations. So I still kind of do that no matter what. But I'm working on it. And also, now that we're doing these longer videos, I don't feel like I need to jump in every second. I kind of will even let the person finish and then say, oh, by the way, OSA is Office of Special Affairs, Scientology Spy Wing. Okay. Stephanie, thank you for the super chat. Matrix Tech Solutions always does a super sticker, never a super chat. Thank you for that, Matrix Tech Solutions. We love the name. We always say we love the name. We still love the name. Thank you for the super sticker. Denver Steve, I'm still waiting for my weekly BFG 20% off coupons. Add a little color to that first year after you broke it out of int. Yeah, I am going to, I was thinking, depending on if you guys get a bunch of merch or whatever like that, maybe when we come out with something new, maybe we'll do like a coupon code on the channel. Tell me what you guys think. If you guys think that there's something that we're missing from the store, if you want us to do a giveaway or whatever, let us know and maybe we can do that. We can give away coupon codes. I know there's a way to do it. And we're also integrating into the channel so you can actually go to the store from the end screen, or if we talk about something in the stream, we can put a link in the video that will go directly to the store. Who first coined the term SPTV? Genius. I think it was on a, I want to say it was a
viewer. It was a viewer.
I want to say that it was a viewer and we loved it. And we were like, yeah, let's just do that. Like a lot of the things, a lot of the videos you've seen, a lot of the logos you're seeing, even some of the videos that we show, the trailer, these are user content. We will, if you make a video or you make a logo or a funny picture or a shoop or take a picture of a Mike Rinder bobblehead, chances are, as if it's landscape and it's high quality, I'm going to use it. Okay. I've used a ton of shoops that people have sent in, the high resolution shoops that somebody who knows how to use Photoshop that they send in, if they're high quality, which means like 1080 by 1920 or 1920 by 1080, and their landscape is a very, very high chance I'm going to use it.
Yeah. And by the way, without giving anything away, I did want to give a shout out to 2 of our viewers. So one of the people that we helped through the Aftermath Foundation just got their GED, and viewers donated tickets for this person who loves amusement parks, especially loves Disneyland. Got a ticket for Magic Mountain, which he's going to tomorrow, and a ticket for Disneyland, which he's going to on Sunday. And he's been calling me off the hook. And I was like, is everything okay? I just texted him. He's like, I just wanted to say thank you for the tickets. This is the best graduation present ever. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. It's really awesome.
Yeah, and that is going to be a subject of one of these videos that we have coming up, guys. When you see what some of these people have been through and how they're doing today compared to how they were doing when we started when we had contact with them initially, it's not even, I can't actually talk about it right now because it's going to make me get really emotional. So, but it's amazing what the Aftermath Foundation has done for some of these people. And the only way we've been able to do that is from donations from people like you guys. Yes. So if you want to donate to the Aftermath, go to the link in the description. Nancy Griffin's Aquatics. Steve Mango is back. I watched him back in 2014. Yeah, Steve Mango started a YouTube channel. I'm trying to think what happened. I know what happened. You're right. I know what happened. Steve Mango did a video and it was fine. I don't know what the video was about. I think there's this thing that OSA does, the Office of Special Affairs, Scientology Spy Wing, used to be the Guardian's office. They do this thing where they try to instigate things and they make ex-Scientologists fight with each other. And because they're fighting with each other, they're not exposing Scientology. So anytime I see somebody getting in a fight with somebody, I usually am like, I try to be the Switzerland and say, guys, can you not do this? It's really not productive. And if you want to expose another person and get into it with them, it's just not really helping get the word out about Scientologists. Well, I think there was a video that was sort of in that vein, and he mentioned, or he was doing videos in that vein, and I wasn't a big fan of it. And then he mentioned that Claire and I used to be independent Scientologists. And
which we have never been.
We independent Scientologists are people who leave Scientology, but they still practice Scientology and they still believe in Scientology. And we were not, that wasn't us. We left and we didn't believe in it and we didn't support it in any fashion or any way. And I was always very, very clear about this whenever we'd run into these independent Scientologists, and they all knew that.
And by clear, you would tell them, I pee in your Kool-Aid, right?
Yeah. The ones I call it drink. When you believe in Scientology, I call that drinking the Kool-Aid. And I would say, you guys can still drink the Kool-Aid. Just know I've been peeing in it for years and years and years. So I'm trying to dilute it so less people will drink it. Anyway, but either way, he had mentioned that, and I wrote to him and I said, hey, Steve, can you take this thing out? Is it Steven Mango? I said, hey, take this video down or cut the part out about me being an independent Scientologist, because I was an independent Scientologist. He said, I'm not going to do it. And I didn't use YouTube. I wasn't on YouTube, so I couldn't really do anything except for comment and say, hey, I wasn't an independent Scientologist. Anyway, and I haven't really talked to him since then. And I don't even really think he's done a lot of videos since then. But if he's back, great, more power to him. And I wasn't,
so long as he's not making claims about us that are untrue.
I don't have a problem with Mango, and I think it's great that he has a channel, and he's probably getting a few million views on the video that he's done. But that one thing that he did say wasn't accurate, and I stand by that, and he stands by his video, and I think it's still up to this day. I haven't looked, but whatever. When I told him to take it down, and I checked back a few weeks, and it wasn't taken down, all I did was unsubscribe. It's not really anything else I could do to make him take a video down. Yeah. I didn't try to strike him on YouTube or anything like that. I don't think. But either way, awesome. Another channel. Maybe he saw these other channels firing up and he was like, hey, I should just keep my channel going. So I think it's great. And you know what? I'm going to subscribe to his channel. Okay. And I will put a link to his channel in the description below to show that there's no bad blood between us. And now I've corrected the falsehood. So I don't really care. It's not that big of a deal. Nikita Wadman, off topic, but what are the e-meters actually measuring? What makes the needle jump move? You know, that's a good question. It sends a carrier, a very low voltage carrier wave through your body. So even body motion, it is measuring something. I don't know if it's I don't know how it measures it, but when I think about, they have a thing in Scientology that's called a floating needle. And if your needle is doing that, that means whatever Scientology process you're in the middle of doing, it's done being done and the session's over. And whenever I would get audited, and I would think about this Depeche Mode concert that I was at too, front row center at the Rose Bowl in the late 80s, I would think about that and the session would be ended. They'd be like, thank you, your needle is floating. And so whatever it's measuring, when I think about Depeche Mode, that shit shows up on the e-meter. That's all I can tell you. Love the SPTV. Congratulations on all the success. So happy that this has continued after Leah's show ended. This is like wildfire. Yeah. And that's another great thing. The reason we were doing this is because we were on this show, the Aftermath show, arguably the best network TV, or network cable TV show or TV program that's ever been done on Scientology, and the most effective about kind of cracking this subject wide open to the general public. Came on the heels of the Going Clear documentary and the Going Clear book by Lawrence Wright and a book by Janet Reitman, Inside Scientology, and a little old book called Blown for Good, Behind the Iron Curtain of Scientology, and countless other ex-member books. They all sort of led up to this TV show, and the TV show was so successful that that there were people like, we want more, we want more. Then Mike and Leah started the podcast, the Fair Game podcast, and then when that sort of ended, there was nothing happening except for Aaron Smith-Levin. And Aaron Smith-Levin on the Growing Up in Scientology channel was just cranking out videos. And no matter what he did, it was like he couldn't create enough content to answer all the questions that were coming in. And so then he told me, hey, you should start a channel. And there was already a ton of other channels. And then whenever I start doing something and I like it, I really like recruit. I'm like hardcore. So I'm like, Mike, you need to do a channel. And then Amy Scobie, and then Mark and Janice. And so I try to help these guys as much as possible. If they need stuff, or I'm telling them like, oh, you could do this and you could do that. You could do this. Here's some logos. Here's this, here's that. I'm trying to help them as much as possible because I want them to do it too. And what do I always say? Rising tide raises all ships. That's how I think about it. And that's why if Stephen Mango's got a channel, great. Add another one to the list.
Goldie added the link in the chat so everyone can go subscribe.
Perfect.
Oh, and by the way, I was speaking with our dear friend Leah today, and I'm putting together a complete list of all books on Scientology.
Yeah, we're right now. I know we got this merch, the BFG merch store up, but we also are going to revamp the Blown for Good website, and we're going to put a list of every single YouTube channel, every single book written by an ex-member, or Lawrence Wright or Janet Reitman or Steve Cannon. We're going to put we're going to make it a place where all of that lives, and we're probably going to do that on the SP shop as well. So just so people, there's multiple places where you can find out, because some people they want to read the books, they want to watch the YouTube videos, they want to watch the TV show, they want to listen to the podcast. For those people, we're going to make a list for you, because we constantly are asked about these things. Kat and Maggie says, Kelly Copter's editing skills are amazing. You definitely picked the right collaborator. Yeah, well, everything about Kelly Copter is amazing. She does amazing content. She's done amazing editing. And we're like, yeah, we need to tap into that, because we just don't have enough time. and we love supporting Kellycopter. So we're doing that.
And
Ava Joy.
Kelly was born in Manchester, just like me.
She's a fellow Manchurian.
Mancunian. That's what it's
Manchurian, Mancunian.
No, be specific.
Ava Joy Porter. Thanks for standing up to the bully cult. Mark and Claire, you're a power couple, and I love the support. I love and support what you do to help. SPTV ain't playing. Thank you, nice. Ava. We appreciate it. Yeah. If you want to support the channel, we love the super chats. We love the super stickers. But if you don't want to give YouTube that 30% they take, then you can go to the link in below and hit the PayPal, or you can go to the new merch, the BFG store. There's also a link in the description, and you can just hit the donate there any way you want. So we're good with all of it. We just, if you donate it to donate to help cover the cost of the channel and stuff, then and you don't want to give it to YouTube, you can go to those other links. Annie Kurtz says, SPTV rocks. I don't think you all know how really important this work is. Spiritually speaking, you are helping many by your example and actual grassroots helping others. Thank you all. Yeah. One of the things that I realized very early on when Scientology started fair gaming us and attacking us and trying to cut us off from other people's is connection. Their policy, Scientology policy of disconnection, is powerful because it takes away your support system. And I realized I just, all I was trying to do was whatever they were trying to do, I realized, and I don't know how I realized this, but I realized it almost right away. The key is to do the exact opposite. So if they want disconnection, there must be a reason. So let's connect people up. And so that's why we were doing these SP parties, and we were trying to connect with other people. And then we were trying to connect to ex-members, and then we're trying to just connect to the general public. So Scientology's kryptonite is connection. They focus so hard on disconnection that is their kryptonite, connection. And it's not just between ex-members, it's just with everybody. And the reason is because it's therapeutic. There's something about it. When you can connect to somebody else, even if you were in a different cult, or you're in a different situation, or you're in a bad abusive relationship, or whatever it was, when you can see, oh, there is a way to heal from that, and there is a way to grow as a person and connect with other people and have a community, that alone is therapeutic. And if you're having problems, but you have a community, you can lean on that community to sort of be a crutch while you sort yourself out. And maybe I could do what that person did. Or this person says, you know what I did? I did this. And just that connection, there's something about it. It's magic, guys. I don't know what it is. I haven't been able to sort of verbalize it more than that. I just know connection is the key. As long as people are connecting with each other, even if they're different states, different countries, different politics, different races, that doesn't matter. You can connect with anybody about anything pretty much. And if anybody who knows me knows I'm that freaking chatty Cathy and you sit next to, and you're like on a bus or something. I'm the guy that's like, hey, I got a pair of shoes just like that. You know, like I'm that guy. I'm the chatty. But ironically, if I'm on the plane and I sit down, I'm sleeping. I have the headphones on. Please don't chat me up. But if I'm
you taught me to do that too. But I even do it on planes half the time.
Which, the chatty Cathy or the other thing?
I was on a flight to England. I was talking with this woman the whole time, and I've been sending her Christmas cards ever since.
Yeah, no. And even our boys, if we see somebody, they're like, oh shit, Dad's gonna talk to these guys. Dad's gonna strike up a conversation with these people.
Speaking of which, we got to wrap up here.
Yeah, we got a party to go to. Linda NS, we're almost done. Linda NS, when you were all going to do the fundraisers for Aftermath, you've mentioned a few times. Well, this merch store was one of the ways we're doing that. The donation things. We're trying to smooth all these out so that when we kind of are ready for prime time and we want to do a fundraiser for the Aftermath, we want to like knock it out of the park. And based on that, we do have one coming up. We're going to show a video of somebody that we've helped with the Aftermath. And then directly after we show that video, we're going to do a fundraiser. We're going to do a live Q&A and a fundraiser for the Aftermath. So it's coming up. It's going to be, well, it's going to be either the end of May, beginning of June. I'll just tell you that. That's what it is. We're already working on it. We've already made the plan, and that's going to be that we're doing. I don't know if Aaron's got any other things planned, and we might do a joint thing for this fundraiser, or we could just do it for the Aftermath. We'll see. But just us, depends on the availability of the other channels and the other guys. But right now, that is the plan. Would you consider making available to us a printable version of the Aftermath Foundation cards or info that we could share? Yeah, that's on the Aftermath website.
Yep. You just go to the volunteer tab and there's a little thing where it says, click here to download this file, and you can print them.
Yep. We have it. We've done it. We've been asked. We complied and we provided.
Oh, wait.
What?
Well, Aaron just wrote saying Mark and Claire want to join ? I'm not sure what he's talking about though. So never mind.
If he wants to join, you can get him in here. Yeah, he can join.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
Say yes. And then when he pops up, we'll let him in. He can just join. He's actually an admin on my channel now, so he can just jump in if he wants to.
Yeah, jump in.
Aaron, jump in. Cracker licking Claire Bears, welcome back, Mama Bear. We missed you. Thank you, Anhata.
I missed myself. Thank you.
A werewolf. Strength in numbers will work for you. Go SPTV. Yeah, that's the best part of this whole SPTV thing is it's a brand now, and we don't care who's in it. We've got all different we literally do have a whole bunch of shapes and sizes and facts and figures to present from all different people, from even different. We even have other time periods.
Oh, okay. We got to end up. Aaron's going live with Leah, and he's asking if we want to join.
Yes. Oh, yes, we will join.
Yes, okay. We'll join. Hell
when is he going live?
Ask
him when, and I'll finish up these questions. Thank you for the super chat, Stephanie.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you, Andy. Fabulous. Instead of going to Courthouse, I took my 1,000 watt portable PA system to Gold Base and sat in bed with my trunk with the Pepsi and read from OT3. Did you really? Andy, if you did really do that, we got to see a video of that. You can't just make statements like that and not share the deets. Jane Brown, would you consider making available to us a printable version of Aftermath Foundation cards? Oh, yeah, we showed that. Yeah. And we did. Thank you. Pamela, love you both. Always make me smile. Thank you, Pamela. Valerie Boljak said, hey, Osa, you get more love from us on SPTV than Scientology. Come out into the light. Aftermath will be there for you. Totally. We will, Osa. We don't care if you're an Osa. We're still going to help you with the give us an application. If you get approved, you'll get helped. Rose K, can Claire start a file for shipping to Australia so we can bulk send and reduce costs? Would that work? Guess what, guys? The BFG merch store, some of the products in the store ship from the EU, ship from Australia, and ship from the US. So nice. If you order and you if you put in the shipping, it's going to be regular Australia shipping within Australia. Our fulfillment service is happening in Australia. I can't guarantee it on all the products, but almost all the ones I'm making that a mandatory thing. So go in the BFG merch store, Rose K, and you should be able to get stuff without having to pay the crazy shipping. AM's 8 Arms of Freedom. Thank you for the super chat or super sticker. Tundra Ice just sent an idea. Boss Baby Chew Toys for our Canine SPs. Yeah, I don't know about that. But if I can, we will. Super sticker. Thank you, Ima. Apostate Alex, you both inspire me every single day. Thank you. Apostate Alex. Another one of the SPTV YouTube family. Andy, fabulous. Boston Legal season 3 episode 5 Scientology episode. Had I had no idea that every time I took a pee, crap or poo, I was getting rid of BTs. Yeah, there you go. I guess they mentioned that in the episode. Paula Puffer, is there going to be a separate channel for the Aftermath Foundation testimony videos? No, we're going to do them. BFG's going to do the first one. If other channels want to do them, that's fine with me. It doesn't matter, because when we do those, it's going to be an Aftermath fundraiser. When we do it, we'll announce it, and that there'll be a way for the donations to go direct to the Aftermath. But yeah, that's just how we're going to do the fundraisers. I'm doing the video. I'm producing my channel, the BFG channel is producing this story, because I've known this person since I was a child. And to be fair, I was doing stuff before there was an Aftermath Foundation with this person, and I was involved in more ways that predate Aftermath. So this is my story too, in addition to the person we helped. So I am spearheading this video, and I have spearheaded this video since the beginning. I've been working on this for years. This was happening way before Aftermath and way before I had a YouTube channel that I was posting daily videos on. Yep. Kim Wiseman, do you know a guy named Ernie Milo is using your content? I haven't got any alerts from YouTube, but we'll make a note of it. Ernie Milo.
I already reported it.
Oh, there you go. So I guess.
Yeah, I got an email about it.
Okay. There you go. Yeah. Thank you. I did not know. If you guys see that, you can report it to me or you can send an email to the channel. But thank you, Kim, for sending a super chat. And I appreciate it. Angel Hugger, everyone is an imperfect human and we all make mistakes, but can we choose to not fight one another? Discuss, walk away, forgive. My first super chat. Exactly. You know what? I think I demonstrated that tonight in the video. And I promote that. Priscilla.
Okay, we got to end now. He's going live right now.
Okay. Thanks, guys. We're going to jump over to Aaron's channel. We'll be in another video over there.
Love you.
Catherine Fraser, Amber Vesser. There. Technically, I showed them all. Thank you. Here's my outro.